Hello, I'm Sam, and if you're wondering what the biggest differences are between Google Tag Manager and Tealium, then this video is for you. I'll be explaining the main differences between these two major tag managers.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm making a video about...
Hold on. I know, but I think you might be a little biased.
Alright, let's discuss.
If we're talking about a large website, I believe Tealium is a better option.
Yeah, but even in Tealium you need strict naming conventions and other tricks to keep things organized, right?
Same goes for GTM, no?
That's true. Actually, in GTM, even if you have naming conventions set up, it still gets quite messy if you have a lot of tags and variables and triggers. Tealium probably is the better option here. So when we have an organization with a lot of websites, how does Tealium handle reusing the same code over the different applications?
Yeah, so Tealium has something called libraries. They're actually just a different profile you can inherit into your current profile. It's some kind of a parent-child relationship, but it inherits the whole configuration from that library.
Right, so a bit like Google Tag Manager zones, but I believe you have to have Google 360 in order to use them.
Yeah, so Tealium has that in its standard license fee.
Yeah, that's a cool feature. So when I'm implementing tags in Google Tag Manager, sometimes I find that the tag I'm looking for is not in the predefined list of tags. Then I have to add a custom HTML tag and drop a piece of code in there, and typically it works well.
So in Tealium you can do custom tags, but the need for it is very limited. Tealium has more than 1,000 predefined tags in their marketplace. It's one of the stronger points of Tealium. However, since there are that many tags, they're not always up to date.
Right. When I use one of the predefined tags in Google Tag Manager, they tend to work well right out of the box. So when I'm implementing custom code, I feel a lot safer using Google Tag Manager because it will always tell me when I have an error in my code, and it won't even let me publish when there is.
Yeah, so Tealium has syntax highlighting as well. However, I can publish with syntax errors which will break my full implementation. However, I always publish dev and QA first to test my code.
Oh yeah, just like the preview mode in Google Tag Manager.
So regarding flexibility, Tealium must be the clear winner. There's plenty of extensions, and you can even scope those extensions based on the tags you're using, so you can really modify that data layer based on the different tags.
Yeah, you're very flexible in Tealium, but in GTM you're kind of bound to a structure which helps organize your entire setup and keeps you from getting a super messy setup.
Yeah, Tealium might get messy there.
So Geoffrey, do you remember when we were working together in Tealium and I had accidentally overwritten all of your changes?
Yeah, I do remember.
Sorry about that. But maybe if we had worked in Google Tag Manager, we could have used the workspaces to each create our own branch and do our own changes, and then we could merge it back and publish our new setup.
Yeah, so Tealium warns you when somebody else is working in that profile. However, they also have the merging aspect, but it's not always working. So let's go for a clear winner on GTM here.
Yeah. So there are two aspects to debugging, right? On one side, if you're debugging a tag and trying to see if it's working or not, I open up the preview mode in Google Tag Manager, and then I can see why a tag is not firing or why it is firing. But if I have to debug an event and there's a lot of JavaScript involved, it's very complicated because it minifies all my code.
Yeah, so in Tealium, regarding JavaScript, it's a way easier to debug, right? So you can just put a breakpoint and they're not modifying or minifying your code. So you can just check your code and see what is going wrong. However, the tag firing aspect is a bit harder because there's not really a good integration there.
So when I have a problem in my Google Tag Manager implementation, I just Google my problem, and I usually end up on the forums or a Stack Overflow page where an answer is usually provided. But when I encounter a problem that not a lot of people have had before, I end up having to try a lot of things and experiment until I finally get it working.
Yeah, so in Tealium, of course, there's way less people using Tealium than GTM. However, we have customer support, so if we run into a really specific problem, we can always rely on customer support to help us out.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So to conclude, I guess we can both agree that Tealium is a better option here. You have way more flexibility and you can go way more advanced in your setup. You have way more control over the data being sent to the different tags.
Yeah, it's not always better. GTM is a lot more user-friendly. There's a lot more users using it. You're gonna be able to talk to more people to get solutions.
I guess we'll never agree.
I guess so.